Hey guys, it's Gary here from My GPS Fitness again, and what I'm going to be talking about today is the macronutrients, calories, food, everything that will be going into this diet. So first of all, I'm going to be talking about why I'm using this formula for my diet. What my formula is, not my formula, it's not devised by me, it's devised by Dr. Jim Stepani. He's a really good YouTuber, bodybuilder. He's got a PhD, so he's a good guy to listen to, especially if you're a bit uncertain on what to do. But he suggested doing a low carb diet, moderate fat, and then a really high protein. What this means is I'm going to make this really simple. The formula for it is really simple, and as the video goes on I'll get a little bit more in depth with it. So the first bit is the high protein. So you want to weigh yourself in pounds. So I weighed myself yesterday, which came in at 186 pounds. So 186 pounds, and that means I then got to times that number by 1.5 to get the amount of grams of protein that I'm going to be eating per day, that my budget is. That's the way I think of it, because I like, everyone uses money, everyone thinks about money, so let's just go with that. So your budget is 279 grams of protein for this week. Next bit is, you want to times your body weight then by 0.5. This will give you the amount of carbs and the amount of fat that you're going to be consuming per day. So the moderate fat, it will give you about 92 grams of carbs. So you give about 92 grams of carbs and 92 grams of fat. Carbs are in freaking everything. You'll find this out if you do this diet. They're everywhere. So you got to look at fruits. Fruits have high amounts of carbs, and a large orange that I'll have will have about 20 grams of carbs. And if you have a 90 per day, you're thinking, okay, I'm not going to have an orange, I'm going to have some veg instead, which is like 0. But then fat, a Mars bar is about 10-11 grams of fat. So you think, well, why am I doing that? Well, Mars bar has a lot of sugar in it. That has a lot of carbs in it, so you still can't have a Mars bar. Tricks you to make you think, oh, I can have, no, that's a lie, can't have it. Why the low carbs? Why? Because you want to lose fat, but he's saying take low carbs. What it is your body works very clever. Your fat that is stored for emergencies basically, yeah. So it's called reserve fats. That's the bit that you're going to see. That's what's there in case you start starving. So what you want to do is you want to trick yourself into thinking you're starving, but you're not really. Like, your body's sort of going, okay, I'm going to burn this off, but it's just in case I might start starving. That's basically the idea behind it. So carbohydrates are the thing that get burnt first. They're your main energy source for just a regular human being. So you burn off your carbs, then you burn off your fats, then you burn off your proteins. So imagine you take away the majority of your carbs, bit here and there just to make sure your body goes, okay, I'm still living, I'm not starving. Doesn't go into, shit, don't take anything. You're taking your carbs really low. As soon as the carbs are gone, you're then exercising the weight away from your fat. Your fat will then reduce. Therefore, you'll see the most results without your body going, okay, I'm not having any fat. When you don't have any fat, it really takes a toll on your body. Low carbs isn't nice, but mentally low fat seems worse to everyone because it's such a low amount. But low carbs can suck a little bit too, but I would think it's not as bad. Now, people do react differently to different dieting methods. Me, my body reacts to carbs ridiculously. You'd pump carbs in me. I mean, when I came off my shred last year, I pumped a load of carbs into myself because I was bulking back up, and I just puffed up. Not fat, it looked like I was absolutely massive for like a week, then it went away and I was disappointed. So taking carb counting is a good way to do it. If you're quite new to this, you're going to be thinking, why is he not counting calories and carbs instead? The reason being, your macronutrients, the protein, the fat and the carbs, will all add up to that calorie. I mean, you can calorie count, it will work, it's very basic, but you don't know where those calories are coming from. Calories are a fuel source. It is a fuel. So they are all fuel sources, but it's just which ones you choose to use less of. So for me, if I'm having high proteins will keep me fuller for longer. So they will keep you going and going and going and going, and they won't make you feel that hungry. Whereas carbs, some of them, especially sugar, will go like that within half an hour. That's why you'll have a massive drop if you eat loads of sweets or sugary substances or just whatever. So that's why I'm doing it that way. I'm going to give you a few top tips here. So I'll cut and I'll be back in a second. Top tip number 1. Stop drinking your calories. Calories will be drank in teas, coffees, energy drinks, just everything. Everything has carbs in it. Calories, carbs, both of them, they're abundant in drinks. And you'll think, oh, it's just a latte. Well, that's about 200 to 300 calories. So you're thinking, well, why should I have that? I just drink water. You're thinking, okay, I need caffeine in the morning. I need caffeine. I've invested in caffeine pills off bodybuilding.com. They're £5 for 100. That's saving you money because you can only take a maximum of 3 a day, whereas some people will have like 6 to 10 coffees a day. So for me, that makes more sense. Top tip number 2. Remember, you cannot burn fat from one specific place. So women especially, and that's not me being sexist, that's women especially will say, okay, I want to get rid of my love handles. Right, so you're going to specifically work, no, your body doesn't work like that. Your body's too clever to say, okay, I'm just going to remove fat from there, because if it did that, you would have already done it. Your body would be like, okay, actually I don't need all that around there. It will remove a percentage from each. So if you've got 100 grams of body fat around your hips, and you removing 10%, you're going to remove 10% from everywhere else. It just won't show as much because it's not got as much fat on it. So every little bit, every time you think, okay, my waist has gone down by an inch, think about it everywhere else has. Top tip, it keeps you motivated, think it through. Top tip number 3, take progression pictures. I did that last year. I didn't really do it too well. I took one at the very beginning and I took one at the very end. And I hadn't noticed myself the change in my body. Other people had. They said, "Oh, you look so different. You've done so well. Congratulations." And I thought I hadn't changed until those photos came along, and I was like, "Oh, actually, do you know what? I'm looking way different. I'm kind of looking good. I kind of like this," and it really, really motivates you. There are other ways you can do this by, say, I was an extra large t-shirt. I went down to a medium. Put on an extra large t-shirt and it comes down to your knees. It's great, great, great feeling. That is definitely a top tip from me. Top tip number 4, you can eat fatty meats. Because the moderate fat, you can have things like, I just had some lamb. It makes it more interesting. Because the low carbs and stuff, you will struggle to hit your fat intake. You will struggle. So don't worry about it. Don't count fats. You won't count them, but if they start getting too high, like if it starts saying on like your whatever you're using to track them, if it's going, say you got 50 grams a day or whatever, and it says 45, then okay, then start thinking about it. But other than that, don't stress over it too much. Just make sure you keep under the limit it's given you. Top tip number 5, I think it is. What this one is a really, really damn good app. Now, what I'll do is I'll cut away now and I will show you it and I'll give you a run through of it. So, what we have here is MyFitnessPal. I used this very, very early on. It's how I managed to track all my foods. Now you can see this is my nutrients of what I've got today, well, what I've got left over today. So as you can see, it's already useful. It's got pie charts and all sorts. So this is what I've got. So I've got 476 calories left, 39 grams of protein left, 38 grams of fat left, and 1 carb. That's depressing. Carbs are so tasty. They're the tasty bits. Now, this is free to download. So you've got all these little bits down here. So you've got home, food diary. If I click on that, we can see what I've eaten today. So I started off with scrambled eggs, 200 mils. An egg yolk fell in when I was trying to do my egg whites. So I added that in. That is, to be fair, you can have egg yolks in it. I'm just choosing not to. it's really good at transporting, it's a good form of cholesterol. I wouldn't say skip out on them unless you really want to. Then I've got my multivitamin. I really suggest taking these. I've said this in the supplement video before. I really would take these. It'll make you feel so much better. And there will be at points where you do feel a bit sick and stuff. I mean, I'm feeling a little bit sick now and I've only just started, so it's not a great start, but we'll press on and we won't give up. So then my lunch is skinless chicken breast fillets, 147 grams, couscous, blah blah. And here's the bit that I'm talking about. So I've got lamb shank. Lamb, you're thinking, oh okay, that's fatty meats. Whereas actually, it tasted pretty good. 25 grams of fat. I've still got quite a lot of fat left over. 450 calories, so it's actually filled me up when I was really hungry when I got in. 49 grams of protein. It's done really well for me. Then I had some mackerel on top of that because I was still a little bit hungry afterwards. You can also track your snacks, and I don't know why it's not showing me my snacks because I've had a yogurt. Here we are. So I've added my protein into there, which is 4 scoops I've had today, and a low-fat black cherry yogurt, which wasn't black cherry, it was mixed berry. But the same sort of thing. Sometimes it gets a little bit wrong, but it's just a roundabout. It's not going to be perfect all the time. Don't get too hung up on it. So then what you can do is you can click on nutrition, and again it comes up with this thing, how much you've had, how little you've had, fiber, sugar. If you really want to get into it, I wouldn't suggest having too much salt, which is sodium. It will make you retain water less and it'll make you look a little bit better. So as you can see all the way down here, this is the vitamin tablets that have done that, but kicked me way over. Cholesterol's gone a bit high, not really too fussed about that at the moment. I'm just trying to get back into it. If I was competing, I would be really fussed about all that sort of thing, but I'm not nowhere near that yet. Also what you can do is you can track your progress. So as you can see, this is 1 month. If I was to put it into since starting weight, so you can see how much my weight's fluctuated. It started off at 205. I've lost 18 pounds since then. But yeah, it's a really good way. You can also track photos like I have just there. I'm not going to zoom in on that, that was horrible as well. I was really bloated yesterday. So you can see every time I weigh myself every week. So this is a really good way just to keep track of it. Now, if you go into more, you can obviously add all your goals, profiles and things, communities, blogs, steps. You can have a step counter, I just choose not to. Now, if you want to keep track along with me, make sure, keep checking up on me, keep nagging me, saying make sure you do your stuff. This is my profile, so if you want to add me, that's my username, feel free to add me. You do this, so you go into friends, add, there we go, add friends, and you click on the email bit of MyFitnessPal username. So we've got my pal there, AA Fitness. Yeah, I don't have many people on this, I've never really thought to add people on it, but it'd be interesting to see how you guys are getting on. Now let's cut to the next top tip. Right, so now on to my final top tip after the FitnessPal, and it does relate to it a little bit. What this is weighing yourself weekly, as I just mentioned. Weighing yourself weekly will mean that you adjust your macronutrients weekly and you continue to see progress. Some people do it 2 weekly, half weekly, whatever, just keep it regular. Keep it to a point. I like doing it every Sunday. I like doing it as soon as I wake up. But however, if you're feeling a little bit like, okay, I'm not seeing as much progression as I want to, make it quicker. Just weigh yourself every 2 days, every 4 days, whatever. It's your choice, it's your diet. I'm not going to tell you how to do it, I'm going to give you advice on how I'm doing it. So that if someone wants to know, I can direct them to these YouTube videos rather than me telling someone and going, hey, oh yeah, so that bit, yeah, sorry, I forgot about that bit last time, where I'm going to try and remember it all, give it out to you guys, and if you guys like it, you can leave a like and stuff, and just leave some comment, leave some feedback. If you disagree, if you've had really good results, I'd really like to hear about it, because you can never know everything in the fitness industry. So try and learn off each other. Don't ever criticize anyone saying that it's wrong, because the likelihood is it worked for them. It might be so backwards, but it might have worked. Doesn't make a difference. So anyway, this is going to be the end of this video. I will see you guys later, and I hope you have a great day.